next here.
I've been attacked so many times. Death threats. I've been sexualized.
Meanwhile,
Big mama. Big mama. That big mama for real.
I've been death threats. I've been sexualized. She's been celebrated, bruh. They won a national championship. They kissing her ashy elbows.
Woo! But everybody remembers it, right? That's a national title.
What's good, Baskley fam? Angel Reese just walked the Victoria's Secret runway in lingerie, and the internet is absolutely imploding right now. But here's what everyone's missing. This isn't just about a fashion show. This is about something way bigger, because less than 2 years ago, Angel stood in front of cameras with tears in her eyes and said she was being victimized. She said people were sexualizing her. She played the victim card hard. And now, she's literally walking down a runway in her underwear for millions to see. The hypocrisy is staggering. But wait, before you think this is just another celebrity doing celebrity things, you need to understand the pattern here, because what Angel's doing reveals something deeper about how people manipulate public perception. And by the end of this video, you'll see exactly why this moment is way more significant than just some fashion show controversy.
Look at Angel. Look at Angel. There's no hate here from me. That is the best version of Angel Reese I think we've ever seen. Now, that's not saying a whole lot, because normally Angel Reese is running her mouth or missing layups. Normally she's saying...
Look at that confidence. Look at how comfortable she is up there. And you know what? In a vacuum, there's nothing wrong with this. Women walk runways. Athletes do modeling. Sophie Cunningham posts bikini photos all the time. Nobody cares. But here's the critical difference that changes everything. Sophie Cunningham never stood in front of cameras crying about being sexualized. She never played victim. She never accused the world of objectifying her while she was just trying to play basketball. Angel Reese did exactly that, and that's why this moment is so explosive, because you can't have it both ways. You can't weaponize victimhood when it benefits you, then turn around and do the exact thing you claimed was hurting you. That's textbook manipulation, and people are finally seeing through it.
Expect people, don't sexualize me. Don't look at me like that. I mean, I know I'm walking out my drawers, but you're not allowed to do that. Nah, no. Doesn't work like this. This is not Burger King. You don't get to have it your way, regardless of whether you want it your way or not.
This is not Burger King. You don't get to have it your way. That line hits different because it exposes the core problem. Angel wants to control the narrative completely. She wants to decide when her sexuality is empowering versus when it's victimization. She wants to walk a runway in lingerie and have everyone celebrate her. But the moment someone criticizes her basketball game or her behavior, suddenly she's being sexualized and attacked. This is classic manipulation psychology. It's called selective victimhood. You claim oppression when it serves you, then you embrace the exact same behavior when there's money and fame involved. And the Victoria's Secret deal? That's huge money. That's mainstream visibility. That's exactly what she's been chasing this whole time. But here's what most people don't realize about Angel's entire strategy.
And this is a step towards being an OnlyFans model. This is Angel Reese is basketball Barbie, and soon she'll be OnlyFans Barbie once she gets done using basketball to promote her real passion. She wants to be a sex symbol, and she wants to pretend like she has some intellectual integrity, some intellectual...
Listen to how he breaks this down. Basketball Barbie heading straight to OnlyFans Barbie. That's harsh, but is it wrong? Look at Angel's actual career trajectory. She's not improving her basketball fundamentals. She's not working on that jump shot. She's not fixing those missed layups. Instead, she's building a brand around controversy, sexuality, and social media presence. The basketball is secondary. It's always been secondary. The WNBA is just the platform she's using to launch what she really wants, to be a mainstream celebrity and sex symbol. And you know what? That's her choice. But own it. Don't cry about being sexualized while actively sexualizing yourself for profit. Don't play the victim card while walking Victoria's Secret runways. The contradiction is too obvious.
Wasn't she the one whining because she felt the WNBA was, quote, sexualizing her? She said it when she was still in college. This is her coming out in college. Right there. That's at the LSU post-game presser where she wanted everybody to cry. I got tagged right here. Stop sexualizing me.
Stop sexualizing me. Those 3 words are going to haunt Angel Reese for the rest of her career. Because every single time she does something like this, Victoria's Secret walk, every time she posts provocative content, every time she leans into her sexuality for brand deals, people are going to throw those words right back at her. And they should. Because accountability matters. This isn't about policing what women wear. This isn't about shaming anyone for modeling or being confident in their body. This is about consistency. This is about integrity. If you're going to build your brand on being sexy and provocative, own that. But don't also try to play victim when people respond to exactly what you're putting out there. You can't weaponize both sides of that coin.
Played the victim. I got a major problem. When people start playing the victim and then they go out and do something like this that is hypocritical as hell, yeah, you're going to get called out on it. You surely are. That comment, that statement from that presser will follow her forever as long as she tries to do and continues to do things like this. The twerking, the ass shaking, all this stuff. Dad, stop sexualizing. I don't care if she wants to dance around and be provocative. That's not the problem unless you've played the victim prior. Yeah, people gonna call you out on it. They sure are. Tell me what you think. Peace them out.
That presser moment will follow her forever. And here's why that matters so much. It reveals the strategy. Angel knew exactly what she was doing when she cried about being sexualized. She was building a narrative. She was creating a shield. Because now, anytime someone criticizes her, she can potentially claim it's because of sexism or racism or people attacking her. It's a protection mechanism. But the Victoria's Secret walk shattered that protection. Because now, everyone can see the game. She's not a victim of sexualization. She's actively pursuing it. She's not being objectified against her will. She's monetizing her image intentionally. And that's fine. But the victim narrative? That's done. It's over. She killed it herself by walking that runway. The cognitive dissonance is too massive for anyone to ignore anymore.
The runway at a Victoria's Secret. They can't forget that standard. Most of them, they're tatted up. They're wearing weaves. They're unattractive and they're angry. And because attractiveness comes from the inside, it comes from the spirit inside of you. And they've been so submerged in anger and bitterness and hostility that they've denied or limited their beauty.
They've been so submerged in anger and bitterness and hostility that they've denied or limited their beauty. That's a brutal assessment, but it speaks to something real. The WNBA has struggled with marketability for decades, and a big part of that struggle is the refusal to embrace femininity, beauty, and traditional attractiveness. They've pushed this narrative that caring about appearance is somehow anti-feminist or selling out. But then Angel Reese comes along and proves the opposite. She embraces her femininity. She does the makeup, the hair, the fashion. She walks Victoria's Secret, and suddenly she's getting mainstream attention that most WNBA players never get. The league should be studying this. But instead, there's this weird tension because Angel's success exposes an uncomfortable truth. The sex appeal matters in entertainment. Always has. Always will. The question is whether you're honest about it.
This is Vogue or something. But don't sexualize me. Don't you do it. Nah, see that's where I got the problem. That's where I got the problem. It's not the bikinis and all that. No.
Sophie Cunningham is the perfect comparison here because she proves the point. Sophie posts bikini photos. Sophie does modeling. Sophie embraces her sexuality, and nobody's calling her a hypocrite. You know why? Because Sophie never claimed to be a victim of sexualization. She never cried at a press conference about being objectified. She just lives her life, plays ball, and does her thing. That's consistency. That's integrity. You can disagree with her choices, but you can't call her a hypocrite. Angel Reese? Complete opposite. She built an entire victim narrative around being sexualized, then turned around and signed a Victoria's Secret deal. The contradiction is so blatant that even her supporters are struggling to defend it. And the internet is absolutely destroying her right now.
This guy even says, I'm still a fan of her play on the court. What the hell happened to her eyes? She'll literally do anything but basketball. I mean, if I was her, I probably wouldn't go this route because you knew she was going to take heat. But look, I think she's to the point, and it's one of the reasons that
Look at these comments. What happened to crying about being sexualized? She looks like she's walking like a guy. She'll do anything but basketball. These aren't just random trolls. This is the natural response when someone's hypocrisy becomes undeniable. People feel betrayed. They feel manipulated. Because many people actually defended Angel when she claimed to be victimized. They believed her. They supported her. And now those same people feel like they were played. Like Angel used their sympathy and support as a stepping stone to exactly what she claimed was hurting her. That's why the backlash is so intense. It's not really about the Victoria's Secret walk itself. It's about the betrayal of trust. It's about the manipulation of public sympathy. And once people feel manipulated, they don't forget it easily.
To do. She has very little interest in basketball. What Angel Reese wants to do is use basketball to promote herself as a sex symbol. And you know what? I think it's going to work. I think this thing with Victoria's Secrets, Angel Reese will start appearing in movies, potentially end up in TV shows, but she is never going to be an elite basketball player. And I understand that's like mind-blowing opinion. Oh, Whitlock's just saying things.
This is what Angel Reese really wants to do. She has very little interest in basketball. That's the breaking point statement right there. Because if that's true and the evidence strongly suggests it is Nan, then everything changes. Her entire WNBA career becomes a means to an end. Basketball isn't the goal. Fame is the goal. Becoming a sex symbol is the goal. The basketball is just the vehicle. And here's the thing, there's nothing inherently wrong with that strategy. Plenty of athletes have used sports as a launching pad for entertainment careers. But be honest about it. Don't pretend you're this serious athlete who's being victimized while you're actually building a modeling and social media empire. The dishonesty is what kills credibility. And without credibility, everything else falls apart.
And if Angel Reese hadn't have done that, if she hadn't have played that victim card, I wouldn't give a rat's ass that she's doing this. But yeah, if you're going to be that big, that large of a hypocrite, you're going to get called out for it. Of course you are. I mean, honestly, I'm still trying to figure out why the guy that created the Me Bounce thing on TikTok isn't suing her over the Me Bounce thing. She literally just snatched that from a content creator. He ought to snatch it right back if he was smart.
The victim card is powerful. It's one of the most powerful tools someone can use in modern culture. Because once you establish yourself as a victim, people are afraid to criticize you. They're afraid of looking like they're attacking someone who's already suffering. It's a shield. It's protection. And Angel used it masterfully after that LSU championship. But here's what happens when you abuse the victim card. Eventually, people catch on. Eventually, your actions contradict your words so obviously that the shield breaks. And that's exactly what's happening now. The Victoria's Secret walk didn't just show hypocrisy, it shattered the entire victim narrative Angel built. Because victims don't sign major modeling deals to walk runways in lingerie. Victims don't actively pursue the exact thing they claimed was traumatizing them. The game is over. The manipulation is exposed.
They're frustrated, overly masculine, wannabe men, play a very boring style of basketball, and most of them, just like many athletes in professional football or whatever, they're doing this because, hey, I'm good at it. I'm tall. I hit the genetics lottery and I got this height and athleticism, and so I might as well use it. But Angel Reese is letting you know
they're frustrated, overly masculine, want to be men, play a very boring style of basketball. That's controversial, but it speaks to the WNBA's core marketing problem. The league has struggled to figure out its identity. Should they lean into athleticism and competition? Should they embrace femininity and entertainment value? Should they focus on social justice messaging? They've tried everything, and nothing's really worked at scale. Angel Reese represents a different path. She's saying, I can be a basketball player and a sex symbol and a fashion model. She's trying to have it all. And honestly, that approach might actually work better than what the WNBA's been doing. The problem isn't the approach. The problem is the hypocrisy. The problem is claiming victimhood while pursuing exactly what you claimed was hurting you. Fix that contradiction, and maybe Angel actually becomes the blueprint for WNBA marketability.
I quit making a lot of videos because, I mean, she doesn't have the self-awareness to understand people trying to actually help her. No, I mean, honestly. Played the victim. I got a major problem. When people start playing the victim and then they go out and do something like this that is hypocritical as hell, yeah, you're going to get called out on it.
I got a major problem when people start playing the victim and then they go out and do something like this. That's the core issue, stripped down to its essence. This isn't complicated. This isn't about hating on Angel Reese or women in sports or any of that. This is about basic consistency and honesty. If you're going to embrace your sexuality and monetize it, great, do that. If you're going to focus purely on basketball and avoid the modeling world, great, do that. But you can't do both while claiming to be a victim of the very thing you're actively pursuing. That's manipulation, that's dishonesty, and people are tired of it. Y'all know how we do things on Baskly. We call out the contradictions everyone else is afraid to mention. And this is as clear as it gets.
next time we'll talk about you will probably be when you open your OnlyFans account. Troy Aikman versus Caleb Williams. Troy Aikman called the Monday Night Football game this weekend, and somehow social media, people in the Chicago Tribune, legitimate journalists, everybody has reached the conclusion that
Basketball Barbie to OnlyFans. That's the trajectory people are predicting now. And while that sounds harsh, is it really that far-fetched? Look at the pattern. Victoria's Secret today. What's next? More provocative photo shoots? Magazine covers? And eventually, when the basketball career winds down or doesn't pan out, what's the next step for someone who's built their entire brand around sexuality and controversy? The OnlyFans prediction isn't an insult. It's a logical conclusion based on the path Angel's chosen. She's shown she's willing to monetize her sexuality. She's shown she's comfortable being provocative. She's shown that basketball is secondary to brand building. So when someone connects those dots and says OnlyFans is probably next, they're not being hateful. They're being observant. They're recognizing the pattern and predicting where it leads.
It might not be so smart. And I've largely quit doing Angel Reese videos because I'm going to be honest. People have gotten to the point for a lot of videos, they don't care what she's doing anymore. She's losing her steam. Yeah, honestly, I'm being real. If I thought people would watch,
The Me Bounce situation is another perfect example of Angel's approach. She took someone else's creation, made it her signature move, and never properly credited or compensated the original creator. That's the same pattern. Take what benefits you, ignore the ethics, and keep moving. Whether it's intellectual property, victim narratives, or sexuality, the strategy is consistent. Use whatever works in the moment, regardless of contradiction or consequences. And here's what's fascinating. This approach has actually worked for Angel up until now. She's gotten major brand deals, she's gotten mainstream attention, she's making way more money than most WNBA players. The strategy has been successful, but the Victoria's Secret walk might be the moment where it all catches up to her, because the contradiction became too obvious. The hypocrisy became undeniable, and once that happens, the whole house of cards can collapse quickly. Alright Baskley fam, here's the bottom line. Angel Reese walked that Victoria's Secret runway, and she killed her own victim narrative in the process. She can't claim to be sexualized against her will while actively pursuing modeling deals in lingerie. The hypocrisy is too blatant, the contradiction is too obvious, and people are done pretending not to see it. What happens next for Angel? Does she own the contradiction and move forward? Does she double down on the victim narrative? Or does she just ignore it all and keep building her brand? Drop your thoughts below. I need to know what y'all think about this whole situation.